Now, illnesses that come about today come from people actually mixing and matching each other's genomes. And a lot of the times, self-esteem and psychological issues do incur because we are believing that we are equal to somebody that we are not, because we are being told that we are all equal, whether it be through pseudosciences such as evolution and eugenics, or whether it be false notions of spirituality such as religion, be a God made us all equal. Both of these are lies. We are not equal. We are not the same. We do not all have the same amino acid makeup. We do not all have the same proteins that are created subsequently from our particular amino acid makeup. We are not all the same genetic organism. Now, does that mean we can't live in harmony with each other? Yes, it does. But do you know how you live in harmony with somebody? You have to respect them as an individual. So we live on the planet Earth now, where you have over 167 different haplogroups. And a haplogroup is a different genetic variation in regards to an organism that you can create from your particular sequence of DNA. There's 167 different type of genetic humanoids you can create. Evolution theory is a lie. Westerners created the evolution theory, okay, and eugenics. The evolution theory was used as a pseudoscience to back up judicial racism and systematic racism. Dred Scott case said black people are not human beings, not meant to be a part of the Constitution. The United States Constitution still to this day says black people are what? 2/5 of a human? 3/5 of a human? In order for you to legally say something, you have to scientifically back it. The evolution theory is applied to the United States Constitution. They use what is called natural selection. What they say is monkeys evolved into black people. And then black people moved from Africa away from the equator and turned into white people. So according to eugenics and evolution, white people are the most modern, perfect form of a human being because they're the newest, according to natural selection. Now let's go into how this is a lie. Now, no other race of people comes from black people. People in India, Dravidians, are Neanderthals. They are the first form of Neanderthal. Now, if you go to the July 11th edition of Microbiology and Evolution, it states that if you are not of African descent, you are a Neanderthal. A Neanderthal, in scientific terminology, is a monkey. We have to bring truth here in order for us to understand each other. Black people are more reptile-based in our DNA. Non-black people are more Neanderthal-based in their DNA. We have different hair. White people, hair is scientifically more prone to that of a canine. This is facts. Even we go into the A and B antigens, the A and B antigens were introduced into the bloodstream 3,000 to 6,000 years ago, and the A and B antigens come from dog and monkey. This is how you can be Rh positive. Rh positive stands for rhesus monkey blood. And this is why when you get pregnant, if you black or you white and you get pregnant by the opposite race, the doctor got to give you a Rogam shot to stop your immune system from sending red blood cells across the placenta to kill the baby, because the Rh negative mother recognizes the baby as a foreign species. So this proves that we are not all one species. We are different species. According to Dr. Alan Cooper from the Australian Research Center for Ancient DNA, Europeans genetically have only existed for roughly 6,000 years. This is why everything that Westerners create starts 6,000 years ago. The Bible, 6,000 years ago. History, 6,000 years ago. Calendar that we use today, 6,000 years ago. They start their timeline at 6,000 years ago because this is when they came into existence. You have Dravidians, who are the first form of Neanderthals on the planet. This is why they look black. They're not black. So these are the people in India with the dots on their hair practicing Hinduism. And then from the Dravidians, you get the Mongoloids, aka Chinese people, Koreans. And then from the Mongoloids, you get Caucasians. A Caucasian is a genetically dead Asian. So you have African people over here. We saying descendants of the mitochondrial Eve gene, aka humans. Then over here you have Dravidians, Asians, Caucasians, and then you have hybrids. Now hybrid people is anybody created between the unnatural mixing of these races. For example, Mexican people look like Mongoloids. Do you know why they look like Mongoloids? Because when Christopher Columbus came over here, remember, Spanish comes from Italy. It doesn't come from Puerto Rico or Dominican. It comes from Italy. When the Caucasians were enslaving black people in the Bahamas, the Caribbean, Latin America, North America, Central America, the Chinese were right with them. This is why racist people refer to Spanish people as spics. A spic is a racist terminology used to indicate a humanoid mutt. So the newest people on the planet Earth are Spanish people and mulattoes. This is to bring clarity. You need to know yourself genetically. you have a genetic and a physiological history, and you need to know that. See, the world is subconsciously battling because it knows that something is wrong. We fighting because we know we different. But we live in a world where you forcing people to be together. That's not the same. But to sit here and keep telling people we are all one race, not only is that scientifically not true, it is going to continue to cause turmoil psychologically. Even the importance of the pineal gland. 80% of Neanderthal people have calcified pineal gland. The pineal gland is the head of the nervous system. And your nervous system is broke down in parts. You got your peripheral system, your autonomic system, your cranial system, and all of these three systems add up to your central nervous system. And the pineal gland is the head of that. And you know what other animals have a pineal gland? Reptiles, specifically cobras. This is why cobras can dance to music. So this is why black people are so agile, and we have the rhythm that we have, because we have a percent of their DNA with a chimpanzee. Why I don't share 98% of my DNA with a chimpanzee? Let's look at medical illnesses. I'm gonna pick three: red blood cell hemolysis, hemolytic disease, and jaundice. Hemolytic disease is once again what? When an Rh negative mother becomes impregnated by an Rh positive father, the body of the mother sees the baby as a foreign species. The hybrid is two organisms who come together and produce an offspring. That offspring is considered a hybrid because it would normally not be created. The reason you're getting a Rogam shot is because genetically your body is saying this is a foreign species and it's trying to terminate it. So the Rogam shot is telling the red blood cells not to go across the placenta and terminate the child. When that happens, that's called hemolytic disease. You know that hemolytic disease is almost exclusive to guess what? Hybrids. Hybrid and hemolytic disease go hand in hand. When a Rh positive man or woman mixes blood and semen with a Rh negative man or woman, the Rh positive blood begins to contaminate the Rh negative blood in a process that is known as red blood cell hemolysis. And what red blood cell hemolysis does is it breaks down the hemoglobin in the blood of the human that is being affected by the Rh positive person. Once the hemoglobin is broke down too much, it releases what is called bilirubin. Bilirubin comes from broke down hemoglobin in the blood. And bilirubin leads to jaundice. Jaundice is linked to red blood cell hemolysis. What I'm telling y'all is medical science that can be researched and is already documented. I'm under the sun just like you under the sun. I'm not gonna not tell the truth to sugarcoat the lies that's actually enslaving us.
Yeah, people. So the bottom line is that I've been saying this for quite some time, and it's brothers like him that inspired me to look further and do the research for myself. And when you look for yourself, I say this, people always ask this, like, what is a man? What is a man? A lot of us don't know what a man is because we all want to be the same, but we're not. For the black man, for him to be a man is for him to find and know himself. He has to find himself by knowing himself. You find your purpose by knowing thyself, inside and out, knowing your genetics. And that's one of the things that's the main thing that this system keeps us distracted from, is our anatomy. A man is to know himself. You find your purpose through knowing yourself, and you bring your visions to reality